Hey, if you're like most people, you're probably thinking when I talk about plastic parts, plastic goods, well, those are all made in China. But they're not, because I've got Nick Reinhart. He founded a company called Kreate, and they are making plastic goods right here in the US. He's got several plants now. He's only been around about 6 or 7 years and growing like mad and doing amazing things. His story is something to behold. I know you're going to love it. Nick is going to be with us in just a minute. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Manufacturing Talks with Jim Vinosky. Industry has a million cool stories, and Jim talks to the movers and shakers who are making them happen. Let's dive in.
Hey, Nick, welcome to Manufacturing Talks. How you doing?
Good, Jim. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being on. This one I've been looking forward to a lot. I think you've got a great story, and I look forward to hearing about it. But before we talk about your current work, your company, why don't you just tell us about your background and how you got to where you are today?
Great. So, Nick Reinhart, thanks for having me. My background is a career in plastic injection molding. I started off in injection molding when I was 18 years old, working for a company that my father ran in a small town called Findlay, Ohio. Over the years, I've either started up and or launched 12 to 15 different injection molding factories. And my latest project is Kreate, a vertically integrated engineering firm that does product from ideation to realization. So we design, 3D print, prototype, manufacture, warehouse, and distribute, and have an exclusive partnership with Home Depot for our home storage products.
When we talk about Kreate, talk a little bit more about what all processes you have, what all products, categories you've got.
So Kreate is focused on plastic injection molding. We have 4 facilities and 110 injection molding machines and operate about 2 million square foot in the United States of America. So if you walk into a Home Depot store, you'll see our products in almost every aisle. We make the iconic black and yellow home storage containers.
Mm-hmm.
And we also do trash cans, indoor trash cans, outdoor trash cans, tool storage, toolboxes, small parts organizers, outdoor lawn and garden, so deck boxes, patio furniture, plastic utility sinks. Just about anything you can think of that's injection molded, that's a proprietary product sold in the hardware channel. Those are items that we look to try to manufacture.
Okay, so if I'm just the average consumer and I hear you talking about that stuff, I'm probably going to think, man, all that stuff went to China years ago. Surely we're not making that here in the US. So how do you respond to that?
You know, we don't even view China as a competitor in our business. Our products are very large, very bulky, and we're super automated. So our facilities are state of the art. We have advanced automation. We have AI that we're starting to deploy in our facilities. And we're a very low labor cost business. We still employ quite a few people. We have around 600 associates in our business, but we have less general hourly associates now and more skilled technical tradesmen.
Mm-hmm. Which is one of the reasons I was dying to talk to you, because we've talked conceptually about that notion here forever, that greater automation kind of cut off the dull, dreary, sometimes dark and dangerous jobs of the past and created higher level, higher skilled, more, actively and mentally involving jobs that people would be much more interested in. So what is it that allows you to do there what your competitors can't?
I think because we're a new business. The business was founded in 2018, 2019 by myself. And we started off with all electric machinery. So no hydraulics, no oil, all servo motors, reduced our energy consumption, made us more efficient out of the gate. And then we added conveyors, pick and place robots, 6-axis packaging robots, the AI integration. So every little thing we've done is compounded to get us to a point to where now we're a super low labor, low direct labor operating company and more skilled trades heavy. We operate at about 1.5% to 2% direct labor.
Yeah, and I want to dive into that whole concept a little more. I know I had a similar experience. I was with General Mills for a good chunk of my career, and I was there when we switched over from the old mechanical drive packaging machinery to servo-driven, baggers and cartoners. And I know from my experience, what it did is it didn't even necessarily reduce the number of people we needed out there, but it made us a heck of a lot more efficient, because if we had, say, a bag jam in a cartoner, the machine that puts the bag into the box for cereal, where previously that would have meant taking chains off, realigning drives, resetting pulleys and gears to get the machine back in time, would have taken hours and hours. Literally, with the new servo machines, and this was 15, 20 years ago, you'd push a button and it would be back ready to run. And so is that something similar in the injection molding worlds, similar to that as far as what it does for efficiency?
Yes, the servo machines have much less downtime. They're faster, they're more efficient, and they create less scrap. The single largest advancement that we're making right now is AI. We've got an exclusive partnership with a company called Kreate. Kreate AI is based out of Boston, Massachusetts, and it's a plastics platform focused mainly on injection molding. And they have a system called Ghost Watch, or Ghost Shift, I mean. Ghost Shift will literally learn your machine, learn your job over time, and eventually it tracks ambient temperature. It understands the viscosity of the resin. It'll adjust your transfer position real time to fix the press without a human touching it. So it really takes a process technician, a process engineer, and makes them a super engineer overnight by giving them data and then helping them see things in advance of a problem.
Yep. The other thing we've talked about here is the whole notion of tribal knowledge and tacit knowledge, things that weren't really readily capturable in like SOPs and operating instructions. And I hear you talk about, monitoring all those environmental conditions and the type of resin you're running and all that. That would have been kind of in the head of a skilled operator in the past. And now what you're telling me is it's between the machine and the super brain you've got monitoring the process. And so now that frees up your operators to do even higher level stuff. So,
exactly. They can focus on value engineering and other projects.
And when we talk about people not wanting to work in manufacturing these days, it's, who can blame them if they think it's the jobs of the past where it's, standing there twiddling your thumbs, or the check your brain at the door mentality. And it's totally not that in your factories, obviously.
It's like playing the coolest video game you could ever play. It is amazing. I mean, and the types of automation, again, pick and place, 6-axis, AI automation, autonomous forklifts. I mean, it is absolutely phenomenal. I started doing this back in 2000. Okay, I had to reach in the press, grab the part out of the press, push the button, inspect the part. Everything that I had to do then is being done by AI and automation. And now there's a whole nother level of skilled technical trades involved in the operation. It's incredible.
Now let me ask you this. I'll kind of play devil's advocate. The other knock on America is, well, we don't have people who can do that high level work. But clearly you guys are operating, so I'm guessing that's not what you're finding.
Yeah, I think we have an amazing workforce, especially in my hometown, Findlay, Ohio. We have not had a problem finding skilled trades employees. I think the bigger problem is the company's not wanting to pay the trades the proper wage.
Yep.
We always constantly evaluate our trades and where the wage is at, and we make sure we're not in the middle or on the low side of the market. We set the bar in the market. We're the top of the market. So I don't worry about having the right amount of people. I focus on making the right investment, paying the skilled trades the right wage, and we never have a problem.
So it's interesting because on one of my other videos, just today, I had a comment from someone, and the video was a short clip talking about reshoring manufacturing, reindustrializing America. And the commenter said, well, it was corporate greed that drove so much overseas before. How are we going to get to where corporations are going to pay fair wages and attract people? And it's exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, well, I think that that's why sole proprietors like myself have an opportunity to win. I
Yeah.
don't have a board of directors. I don't have a corporate dollar that I have to hit. It's a family-owned business. I can work off less margin, and my bigger concern is the health of the business versus the take-home.
And one thing that's unique, well, not unique to manufacturing, but something that certainly was part of driving manufacturing away from America is that it's that longer term investment. It's not going to be the bright shiny object of like tech returns, crazy money, and yet it's also more predictable. It's more, I guess, solid is the way I'd put it. Obviously, we had tech ups and downs, and people losing their shirts and things. Is this an opportunity, in addition to what you're saying about a sole proprietor or a family business like yours, to win? Is it also an opportunity to kind of reset those expectations and get that value back for Americans seeing manufacturing as a good investment?
I think manufacturing is the best investment. I mean,
like
making products to serve the American market in America, to me, there's nothing safer than that. Now, it is very capital intense. We've invested about $350 million in this startup since 2018 through today. So the capital investment is huge, but you have hard assets that produce product. We're strategic. We have locations in Findlay, Ohio, Austin, Texas, and Las Vegas, Nevada. So we're serving the United States of America from a regional standpoint versus one ship location. I think what we've built is kind of a bulletproof, steady revenue stream for the next 20 to 30 years. There's not a lot of people who can come in and have the skill set to launch the factories, build the products, do the 3D printing, put the IP on the product. And on top of that, we're partnered up with the world's largest home improvement retailer. So we have a very good partner.
And obviously that's a big plus for you guys, is having that kind of anchor for your business. Now, what do you see as opportunities down the road for growth and expansion?
For growth and expansion, we're looking at our next platform business is called Configure. And we've made investments in the outdoor self-composting toilet space. It's a $2.4 billion market today, and it's projected to go to $3.6 billion over the next 8 to 10 years. It's very green, very environmentally friendly. It supports kind of the off-the-grid, tiny house, camper, second house in the backyard kind of lifestyle. So that business is called Ogo, and we just completed that purchase about 8 weeks ago.
Very cool. So you're definitely not resting on your laurels, is what you're saying.
No, I mean, our second business, Configure, we already have 4 acquisitions under LOI that should close between Q1 and Q2 of next year.
Excellent. When you think about your geography, you're obviously covering a good swath of the U.S. today. Do you plan to expand that even further?
We do. We plan to expand in the Southeast. Our next expansion after Nevada's fully built out, it will probably be 28 or 29. We will start a facility up somewhere in the Atlanta, Georgia area.
Excellent. Now, when we talk about reindustrialization, you guys have, I think, anchored yourself in a place, like I said, that a lot of people would have thought was largely lost to the U.S. What do you see as the imperatives to reinvigorate some of the other segments of manufacturing where we've lost so much? I think like shipbuilding. I just had an article a week or two ago where we're down from, we were over half of shipbuilding at the end of World War II. We're now at 0.2% of global capacity. Apparel, we make 3% of what we wear. Steel, we're, I think, like 4 or 5%. How do we use your model and get after some of those other segments?
It's capital, know-how, and a customer to partner with. You have to have all three. You have to have the capital, you have to have the know-how, then you have to have the outlet for the goods.
Now, it seems to me you might have had a bit of a hurdle getting your financial backers. How did you convince people that this was a good business when, you talk about making plastic things in America and it seems so, 1970?
I funded most of it myself. So
that helps.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have a lot of banks jumping up and down. At first. We're brand new company, zero revenue day one, and then we built the business from scratch. Now we're very stable. We've gotten a very favorable bank financing put in place, but I had to cash fund it to start off with to get to that position.
But I mean, that alone is a good message. I think a lot of people looking at manufacturing, since it's been, denigrated now for 2 or 3 generations for the last 30 or 40 years, people probably don't think that it's a good place to put their own money. And then here you are saying it's more than that.
Yeah, I think having heavy hard assets, heavy power, infrastructure, skilled associates, and servicing the market we live in, I don't see a better investment. But I'm not everybody. I also don't have any money in the stock market. So all my money's in plastic machines across America.
Well, it seems to be working for you so far.
Yeah, it's going great. We love it. It's my passion though. So Jim, this is what I love to do. I get up every morning at 4:30, 5 in the morning, and the first thing I think about is this company.
Excellent. And I'm hoping to get out and see your place down in Ohio in not too long.
Yes.
And so that would be phenomenal because I hear some of what you're saying, but I know there's things there I haven't even laid eyes on. So that's always cool. You are doing okay on workforce now, but I also know we've got, the baby boomers are well on their way to all being retired. My generation, Gen X, isn't far behind. So a lot of the people who have liked working in manufacturing are going out the door. What do you see as far as the challenges and opportunities to attract the younger workforce?
Yeah, we're talking to kids that are in the trades at an early age, in high school, the vocational schools. And again, it's not a dirty factory. You come in and a traditional factory might have been a little dingy or a little dirty. Our factories are bright. They're fully automated. They're more, again, it's like playing a really cool video game, but with the real stuff. We don't have any problems. We don't foresee any problems with labor. It's more making sure that we pay appropriately, right? Pay the right wage. Don't try to hire someone for $30 when their wage should be $45 or $50.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a great point. It's another one where we talk about workers having that outmoded idea of what manufacturing is, but I think too that a lot of people in manufacturing have that as well and aren't seeing the forest for the trees as far as we upskill people, we should be paying more.
Absolutely. You got to pay for the skilled trades. The trades today run the business. It used to be, kind of a split between hourly labor cost and indirect labor cost in a facility.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now the hourly labor cost is 2% and your indirect cost is 6%. So it's just swinging the other way. And without those skilled tradesmen in your facility, you can't run the facility.
Yep. It's really interesting going back to that cereal example I gave you. When we first went to the servo-driven machines, we had one guy on the site who could program the servos, repair the servos, service the machines when it came to the electronics. And obviously we had to ramp that up real fast or we wouldn't have been able to keep in business. And obviously that level of skill demanded a whole other wage category. Now, as we move down the road and we automate more and more of that rote work, then you're going to expect those wages to continue to be elevated then.
Absolutely. You're going to have more entry level tradesman positions, and you're going to have more tiers of what that trades position looks like. So you're going to have, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. Then over those lower tiers, you're going to have an actual engineer who's at the top of the kind of overseeing everybody. So
Yep.
versus a production manager or a plant manager, you're going to have engineers that are overseeing automation and work cells and people that understand automation.
Yep. When it comes to the entry level folks, what kind of credentials are you looking for?
Nothing. Do
Really?
you
So you're
do
taking
you
people
want to
fresh
do
off the
this? Do you want to make this your career?
Wow.
To me, that's what I asked them. I said, are you here for a year? Are we a stepping stone? We don't want to be a stepping stone. If this is a career to you, we want to bring you in. We're going to pay you a very, very good wage. We're going to give you a lot of opportunity. But the most important thing is you want to be here.
Yeah, I'm bowled over because I mean that's such a departure, obviously, that you're paying the higher wages, and yet it's not like you're hiring all college graduates by any means.
No, we actually shy away from the college graduates. I mean, not that I knock college, but I would prefer someone who came in at 18, 19, or 20 years old and said, hey, I want to learn plastics. And that's what they have focused on their entire career.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, in a way, you've got your own college then, right?
Yeah, it's definitely the Kreate School of Plastic. We bring them people in. They might come in and apply for a general associate's position, and we hire pretty much everybody from within the company and give the opportunities for promotion always from within first.
Wow, excellent.
And we've
Which is
expanded.
another-
We started off with 5 employees. We've got 600 associates today, and that's been 6 or 7 years later.
That's pretty solid growth right there.
Yeah.
It's been another knock on manufacturing that I've heard is that we don't have the opportunities for people from the floor to move up. And what you're saying is not only is that opportunity there, it's really your part of your business model in effect.
It is our business model. We want to hire from within and promote from within.
That is excellent. I tell you, I just love this. I think you guys have charted a course that really kind of lays out what the manufacturing operation of the future should look like.
Yeah, and through my family office, Nicholas Asset Management, we have a whole new program that we've launched where our target acquisition to buy our heavy asset, American-made proprietary products in the plastic consumer space. So we're trying to find companies that are where the owner wants to retire and he has no exit strategy. We can come in and modernize the entire asset base and take product lines and bring them into a modern state.
Wow, superb. Yeah, and it's what we've got to do. I mean, if we're truly going to reindustrialize America, it's not just about the big, huge hitters like building ships. It's all the things that go into those big, huge hitters.
That's everything. Zip ties, outlet covers. I mean, you name it. Everywhere you look, there's a little plastic component that goes on everything. And most of that stuff, the little stuff, has not even started coming back yet. I see that as one of the biggest opportunities to fully automate and bring those smaller components back.
That is phenomenal. Yeah, I mean, if we can do that, then we are well on our way. I've said our new moonshot for America should be saying we're going to be number one as global manufacturer again. And if we did, I bet if we brought all that small stuff back, that alone would put us on top.
It would. And the market's there. I actually think the demand's there. Yep. It's really the capital, the machinery, and the infrastructure to get there.
Yep, absolutely. What haven't I asked you that folks ought to know about Kreate or about what you have going on?
You've asked me about everything. You know,
Okay.
probably more
Well, then
about
I did a
our
good
engine,
job.
our engineering, our engineering capabilities. A lot of people are outsourcing engineering. We're hiring engineers.
Mm,
We have two complete design and engineering centers that do all full 3D printing, product development that run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, which you will see when you visit our location in Findlay, Ohio.
awesome. Yeah. And so for people who aren't familiar with that, you're doing product development. So someone can literally come to you with an idea in his or her head, and you take it from there.
That's right. Yeah, we
That is
do.
awesome.
Again, from ideation to realization, you give us a product concept. You bring me a trash can, for example, or a plastic storage container, and in about 1 week, we can go from design or concept to 3D print. Within 2 weeks, we can have kicked a mold off, purchased a mold and machines, and we can be in production in 8 to 12 weeks.
Stupendous, Nick. Well, good deal. We will be talking about that visit here and working on an article together. So this is not the end. And I'd love to have you back on, sometime next year to update us on how Kreate's doing.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for your time, Jim.
Thank you, Nick. Great having you here.
Okay, bye.
Well, was that as cool as I told you it would be? That's an amazing story. I think Nick, like I said, he's charting a course that all manufacturers need to be thinking about if we're looking seriously to reindustrialize America, and can't wait to get out and see his operation. I'll be reporting on that in the future. If you love this show, you are going to love our next one. He's been here before. It's Tony Gunn. So I just had so much fun with him last time. He was just on a couple months ago, but I want to have him back on and drill more into his new endeavors, striking out on his own. So Tony's going to be here with us right at the start of the year in 2026. So stay tuned for that. We'll be here every Tuesday. I'm Jim Vinosky from Manufacturing Talks, signing off. So long.
Thanks for tuning in to Manufacturing Talks with Jim Vinosky. Watch for new episodes dropping every Tuesday. And don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe.